I know exactly how confusing it is to starting your journey in digital art. So that's why I want to make this video to help you and actually give you everything that you need to know to start your journey, from tablet, the programs you need to know, to tools, and finally to actually having your first workflow for drawings. So when I started my journey, I was super lost. I didn't really know, what tablet to get, what program to use. I was googling the best settings for, the files, like the best size of the canvas, best brushes and stuff. Yeah, I was super overwhelmed. So I thought that there was just too much to learn, and a couple of times I even quit. Let me quickly break down this video. So we'll go through 7 topics that will, help you start with your journey. So the first one will be, choosing the right tablet for you. Then I'll go and tell you about programs, like what software is, like good for you. Then I'll give you like, basic like tools in the program, like all the stuff that you need to know, from file size to, like shortcuts and stuff. And then I'll tell you the tools that I use, which, make it much more enjoyable and faster and more efficient. Now, after that, I'll give you some resources that you can learn from. Okay. I'll tell you like what to use. Okay. And then the one piece of mindset that you actually need, I wish I knew. And lastly, the workflow. So if you're new here, you can like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments on what tutorials you want to actually see on this channel, and I'll, try to study that and do the tutorial. So now the first thing is actually choosing the tablet. Okay, you need to graphic tablet to actually draw. Okay, you cannot really use mouse. Okay, but whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you need to know before choosing your tablet. Okay, from like screen. Okay, there's a screen tablet, there's screenless tablet. There are, like computer ones that you can take everywhere, like tablets, iPads and stuff. So yeah, there's also the budget options, the, premium options. But yeah, main brands are actually, XP Pen, Wacom, iPad, okay, like Apple, and Huion. But at the beginning, it doesn't matter, okay? Pick the cheapest one that you can get. Also, like, keep in mind that you don't really want the smallest one, like get with a decent size of, workspace area. So I started with Huion H640p, which is like a small, cheap one. And, it was decent, but too small. And yet, like, trust me, you don't need an expensive graphic tablet, okay? I always thought that I need a graphic, display, but I was wrong after getting one. And even pros are still using, the screenless tablet, okay? So it doesn't really matter the tool. Just get, a normal size, and keep in mind, you don't want, a pen with battery. You want like battery free one. And yeah, obviously there are pros and cons to everything. But yeah, choosing like for starter, like choosing the cheapest one is, the best. And like my next tablet was Huion 1060p Plus, something like that. And, the biggest, like a con was the pen was, with battery, and I have to actually charge it, and yeah, that's the pain in the ass. But now I have the Huion Canvas 24 Pro, and it's an overkill, to be honest. Like, you don't really need a screen. I thought I needed, but yeah, if you can get it. Obviously, it's like more pleasant to draw, okay? But yeah, still, it doesn't really matter. Now, for programs, there's a lot of stuff, and it depends obviously on what are you going to draw. Okay, what do you need it for? But for a very long time I used Photoshop. Okay, then I actually bought an iPad and draw in Procreate. Then I went again, to the Photoshop and just keep switching. Okay, don't really do that. Choose the one, the software, and draw from that. And then I actually went and used CSP, and that's what I'm using right now. Basically, it's because it has a time-lapse feature. But there are, free ones, paid ones, and, if you have money, just get whatever you want. But for free ones, there's Krita. I heard it's really good. And Medibank, okay? And for paid, the Photoshop, CSP, Procreate on iPad. So these are, like the options. There's much more, but I haven't used them, so, I cannot really tell. But yeah, one tip, like experiment with everything, try different things. Like if they have like a free trial, just try it, okay? See what do you like and choose it. So here the first thing that I do is, check the record time lapse, then just resolution, the DPI, just make it 300, trust me. And now width and height, and for that I use, 4500 and 6000. And for Instagram, I think you just want to put a little bit higher height, and that's it. But yeah, if you make a new one, you have this, okay? Obviously without it, but yeah. But yeah, quickly, like, you don't need any tools, to be honest. Like the basic round brush, is all you need, and also like an airbrush, okay? So you don't need like all these fancy brushes. Obviously you can get them at my Patreon for free, although I like this brush for like drawing. But yeah, basic tools that you need here are, you know, a pen, an eraser, okay? Here you have a lot of options. I use this one, simple eraser, and that's really it. Also you can use lasso tool, but it's more advanced, but I'll probably do a video about that, like more advanced tools. But yeah, this is all you need, like pen and eraser. Now for shortcuts, Ctrl Z and Ctrl Shift Z to go back, to actually redo the undo. For space, I have, you know, move canvas, the hand, okay? Now on Z I have a zoom, which is pretty cool. R is rotate canvas, okay? I use it a lot. Now obviously there are shortcuts like, you know, flip the canvas and grayscale, but I will make probably a video about that later because it's like more advanced and you don't really need it when you're starting. But yeah, all you need is brush, eraser, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Shift Z, space for moving, and zoom. Like one thing that I actually like is whenever you do a line art, okay, you pick a lasso tool, okay, you go here and press a button and fill it, okay, it's pretty useful. For actually fill, I have F2, I don't know how default it is, but just wait for the video and, you know, I'll show you so you can subscribe to not miss it out. But the other thing is layers. So layers are simple. Ctrl Shift N is a new layer, okay? Here you have modes. Just use normal, multiply, soft light, hard light, and color dodge if you know. So also a good thing with layers to know is actually if you make a new layer and press this icon, it will clip to the, you know, layer below that. And what it does is basically makes a mask, and you cannot really go, you know, over this area, okay? It's just the layer that is clipped to is a mask, okay? But yeah, obviously here you have your, you know, color wheel, okay? You can choose colors, color, you know, hue, and navigator is actually useful to actually see your drawing, you know, a little bit smaller so you don't have to zoom out, okay? You can actually work here, boom, boom, and you see here you have a small preview, okay? Here obviously are layers, settings for your brushes, and obviously you can play, and you should play with all the settings. Actually J is really useful. J for me is liquify tool, and yeah, and actually what I like in CSP is, you know, you have all those brushes like here, okay, like stamp brushes, they're default so you can get them. Now let me show you actually useful things that I use so you can also use it. So the first thing is actually gesture search, and it is basically to practice. So what it is, basically you pick a folder with your references, okay? You press randomize, you set like how much time do you want for each picture, how many pictures and stuff, and you press OK, and you see your art, okay? You can do all the stuff that you want with it. You can put it on the different monitor, okay? You can flip it, okay? You can put it in grayscale, useful. Obviously here you have time. Here you can go to the next picture, okay? Boom, boom. Okay, you can pause it, go back, grayscale again, flip it, okay? Do what you want. It's just great to, you know, like learning. So for example, you can put it on a different monitor, okay? Boom, new layer, and you can try to draw it, okay? It's good for practices. Also the time that you have is limited, so it's really good. You don't really focus on the small details, only on, you know, like big picture. Now the next tool is PureRef, and what I like the most about it is basically for references, but it always stays on top, so you can, you know, have your references here and you can draw here, okay? So it's really useful, okay? Also you can do the same stuff with the gesture search. You can obviously make a, you know, a slideshow from that and do the same stuff and practice, okay? But yeah, I like it. It stays always on top. It's super useful. Now the other stuff is basically Pinterest, okay? It's pretty simple. I don't really have to say it. You just go and look for references there, okay? Now the other stuff is actually to-draw list, okay? So basically make somewhere a list. So basically make a list of characters you want to draw or things you want to practice. Yeah, pretty simple. So let's say, I don't know, like a Winston from Overwatch, okay? And you can obviously like to that add like some poses and stuff and whatever you want. But yeah, having like a good draw list, basically it, you know, removes the art block. Other stuff is I use some app, okay, that you can put all your images in and basically make like a gallery. Okay, what it does is basically you see your progress. Okay, how you've improved. Okay, basically from that to that to that to that, and basically now, okay, it gives you motivation and it's just pretty useful. So I recommend doing this. But now, how to actually learn drawing? Basically, there's a couple of options. So you can either, you can use all of them. So basically, like, get books, watch tutorials, okay, like take courses, okay, I don't know, like watch TikToks, YouTube videos, practice. Like, practice is the most important thing. Draw from reference, and that's how you actually improve. Don't make the mistake that I did. Okay, don't binge watch tutorials for like 10 hours. You won't learn anything. Okay, you'll just get a content overdose. It ain't gonna help you. So now the next thing is actually being consistent. Okay, this is basic. You need it to actually improve. So draw daily, like 15-30 minutes. It's all you need, and eventually you improve. So that's pretty useful. Now for the next stuff, for the last thing is actually making a workflow, a simple workflow. So how you make a basic workflow? Basically, you don't need much. Just sketch, okay, then go to flats, okay, then go to like rendering, so adding shadows, light, and you can do a separate layer for each. I actually recommend it, okay, and yeah, basically that's it. So again, like first start with a sketch, then do flat colors, okay, shades, then shadows, add light, and at the end highlights and like post-processing, so you can like mess with colors and stuff. And yeah, that's a basic, simple workflow. So yeah, these were the things that will actually help you with starting your journey. So I hope it actually does. And if you enjoyed this video, you can check out my Patreon for free brushes and tutorials. Also, you can like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And I'll see you in the next one. So yeah, bye.